The Realm. Do you know what the Realm is? It's the 1,000 blades of Aegon's enemies. A story we agree to tell each other over and over till we forget that it's a lie.
Alright my friends, once again we have another Winds of Winter update from the one and only George R. R. Martin. As you all know, The Winds of Winter will be the next novel in author George R. R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire saga. Fans have been waiting to read this novel ever since HBO released its first season of Game of Thrones all the way back in 2011. Now I think it's safe to say some of us are even more excited to read it because we hope it will have a better ending than what we saw on the show. Unfortunately, some of us have been waiting for its release for well over a decade. If you watch all my videos, then you know I always make a new one whenever George R. R. Martin gives us an update on its status. I recently made a video where I read every single Winds of Winter update from George R. R. Martin. For over a dozen years, we've heard him say he's only about a year away from actually finishing it. In fact, one of his most recent updates revealed he's now over 3/4 of the way done. As you can imagine, this had fans very excited because it finally felt as if the finish line was in sight. For once, he finally gave us some insight into how much he's actually written over all these years. I mean hell, even I started to think we might see the Winds of Winter sooner rather than later. Well, once again, I'm not so sure about that. During George R. R. Martin's most recent interview, he said something that makes me think it might still be years before we ever see it. He's now gone back to criticizing his fans who will not shut up about the release date for The Winds of Winter. I mean, you all know, it's no secret, A Song of Ice and Fire fans have been demanding his novel ever since he's missed deadline after deadline. Although I am sure it does get annoying, he was the one who always said it would be out the very next year. Obviously, this has had fans on the edge of their seat, anxiously awaiting for its release. Well, in his new interview, he said, "I've been working. I'm 12 years late with The Winds of Winter. I'm just gonna put it right out there. You guys don't have to pester me about it."
So how many, I've been working, I'm 12 years late with Winds of Winter, as we know. I'm just going to put it right out there. You guys don't have to pester me about it.
Now maybe it's only me, but it sounds like someone who's frustrated because he knows he still has a lot of work to do before he can finish it. I say that because someone who's almost done would have said don't worry, it will be out very soon. The demand would not bother someone who's ready to deliver. Again, maybe I'm the only one who feels this way, but I think he's upset because he knows he's still not ready to release it, even after all these years. Now I want to ask all of you this, who do you think is more annoyed by it? The writer who can't finish it? Or the fans who still haven't been able to read it after they were assured they would have it 5 years ago? Unfortunately, there's no real winners on either side. He's still writing, and we're still waiting. There are definitely some fans who need to relax with how they demand the Winds of Winter. He's not able to say anything, even about his friends who have passed away, without having 1,000 fans hound him about the damn novel. What makes all of this worse is knowing that the Winds of Winter will not have the ending to A Song of Ice and Fire. It will be filled with amazing chapters from front to back, but we still won't know how the story ends. If it's taking him over a decade to write the Winds of Winter, you have to wonder how long it will be before we ever see A Dream of Spring. And I hate to be the guy to say it, but I don't think A Dream of Spring will have the full ending either. I don't believe he will be able to finish the massive story in only 7 novels. The only way I see that happening is if he does what the show did, and that's having everyone speed run around the entire map to get where they need to be in time for the final battle against the White Walkers and the Army of the Dead. As of right now, they're all scattered into the wind, in different locations throughout Westeros and Essos. It will be very difficult for some of them to make it to Westeros before the end of the Winds of Winter. Some of them are nowhere near ready to make that journey, assuming they will need to be there to face the White Walkers. That's one reason why I'm worried he will have to divide the novel into halves like he did with A Feast for Crows and A Dance with Dragons. He's already gone on record saying this will be the biggest novel he's ever written. And I'm sure it hasn't been easy for him.
And finally, you asked a question I knew I was going to get. Do you have an update on the Winds of Winter? It's the same update I've been giving for a long time. I continue to work on it. It continues to get longer and longer. I mean, I was working on it the day before I flew back here for 3 or 4 days, but I was rereading some chapters that I'd written earlier, and I didn't like them well enough, and so I kind of ripped them apart and rewrote them. And I've had some ideas while I've been on this trip. I got to get back and hopefully get to it while the ideas are still fresh in my head. It's a big, big book. I've said that before. It's a challenging book. It's probably going to be a larger book than any of the previous volumes in the series. The Dance with Dragons and Storm of Swords are the two largest books in the series. They were both about 1,500 manuscript pages. I think this one is going to be longer than that by the time I finish it, and I think I'm about 3/4 of the way done, maybe. But that's not 100% done, so I have to continue to work on it.
Now I want to show you what some of the fans had to say after they saw what George R. R. Martin said in the recent interview. As you can imagine, some of them were not happy about what he had to say. Zach said, he still has another novel to write after this one, and he's already 75 years old. At what time do we become concerned that he will never finish the series? This received over 5,000 likes. Then, Rick said, I would rather him be honest and say he doesn't want to finish it. Tristan said, he's gone from saying any moment now to just a few more years, just you wait, to 5 years tops, I swear. But now he's saying, yeah, I know, shut up. Stop asking me about it. This one had 5,000 likes as well. The Dawn said, it's obvious he's lost interest in his own story. Ian Dalbus said, George R. R. Martin will definitely use ChatGPT to finish writing his saga. Now that's actually kind of funny considering George R. R. Martin is involved in a lawsuit against AI writing software. Don't worry, I won't get into all of that here though. I just thought some of you would like to know how he feels right now. Whatever you do, don't ask him about the Winds of Winter. Let him know you would rather have another coffee table book or Volume 5 of Fire and Blood. I'm sure he has Linda and Elio on standby. Anyways, let me know what you think about the recent interview. He might not have said a lot, but I do think it speaks volumes. As always, I want to thank all of you for watching another video. I hope everyone has a great day. I will see you again very soon. Bye.